If you're getting letters from the IRS and you don't know how serious things are, this video is for you because IRS notices typically follow a sequence, and knowing where you are in that sequence will help you to understand how serious your case is. So I'm Bob Jablonski. I'm an enrolled agent and certified tax resolution specialist, and I help taxpayers nationwide deal with their collection issues. So we're going to walk through the sequence numbers and just to kind of let you know where you're at in the process. If you want to learn more about each notice number, watch my video on that notice number and I'll tell you more. So generally when you file a tax return, and first of all, the IRS doesn't have to go through all of these notices, but it's the typical sequence that we see. First, you're going to file a tax return and you're going to get a notice that is a CP14. How do you know? If you look in the upper right-hand corner of that notice, you'll see CP14. And what the CP14 is it's the IRS's notification to you that you owe a tax and that they are demanding payment for it. So this is simply their notification that the tax exists. It's been assessed, it exists, and you need to pay it. If you ignore that notice, what's going to happen next is you're going to get two reminder notices, a CP501 and a CP503. Now, at this level, there's no enforcement, there's no levies or garnishments occurring. The IRS is simply reminding you that you owe this tax. And the only difference between the two is that the CP503 is a little more direct. This is your second reminder notice as opposed to it being a reminder. So the IRS is continuing to collect. They are not taking enforcement action, but you are going down that chain of collection. And I can't stress enough, and I'll mention this a few times during the video. This is the time to actually try to resolve your IRS problem because you have a lot of time to go through it, to meet with someone, to figure out what your resolution is, how to solve it, and to negotiate that resolution before bad things start to happen to you. So no enforcement at this stage, but it's a great time to get started. So next, if you continue to not respond to the IRS, you'll get a CP504. And you'll notice on this notice, it becomes a whole lot more threatening. You'll start to see the word levy all over that notice. Actually, the IRS at that point can only levy your state tax refund if you don't respond within 30 days. They can't garnish wages at this point yet or levy a bank account. But it's getting really serious because the next notice is the one where they are going to have levy rights, enforcement rights if you fail to respond. So that next notice is a final notice of intent to levy. And it can come in a variety of notice numbers or letter numbers, depending on which part of the IRS is sending it and why they're sending it. So the two most common ones are the LT11 and the letter 1058. The only difference between these notices are that the LT11 generally originates within the automated collection systems, the ACS, when you're calling an 800 number. So it's an automated notice. When you're getting the letter 1058, that's typically coming from a revenue officer. So that's the primary difference where it's coming from. They both give the IRS the rights to levy your bank account, garnish your wages, and in some cases seize other assets if you refuse to respond within 30 days. However, that final notice of intent to levy also gives you an important right. It gives you CDP rights. If you file and request those rights timely, you have a few rights there. One, you are going to get before an appeals officer who is independent of collections to hear your case and decide on what they believe the resolution is. It's typically, in most cases, going to stop any levies or enforcement actions that the IRS is going to take until that hearing's heard. And if you had requested it timely, it's going to give you the rights to go before tax court if you continue to disagree with appeals. So you have a whole lot of rights there. You want to get that, you want to, if you've gotten to that point, you can't find a resolution, you want to request that hearing and request those rights so that you can stop the IRS from taking your stuff, right? And this is, like I said, the last stage. The IRS is going to have the rights to levy you if you don't respond within 30 days. So the next stage I'm going to say is not actually a notice, but it's just a matter of urgency. So we're talking about when a revenue officer is assigned. So if your case is in automated collection systems, ACS, you're getting automated notices, and they're not typically going to be calling you. You're going to be calling into them into an 800 number. When a revenue officer is assigned, they are kind of your personal collection officer from the IRS. They have been assigned your case. They need to find a resolution to it, to get you into a payment plan, or so on, but to find a resolution to the case. So they are going to act typically more aggressively to file federal tax liens, to levy you when they have the rights to do so. And that's going to be a challenge of working with them. So they still want to resolve it. They're not trying to punish you. It's to their advantage if they can find a resolution with you and get the case off their desk. But you may expect phone calls from them, and you may expect them to take enforcement action much quicker. So kind of keep that in mind. Who gets assigned to it? It's typically larger dollar cases, or if it's a payroll tax case, which the IRS takes very seriously. So after watching this video, ask yourself, where are you at in the collection process? Are you early, where you've just gotten a CP50, CP14? Have you now progressed to reminder notices, the CP501 or the CP503? Have you gotten to that CP504 where if you don't respond, the IRS can seize your state tax refund? At this point, you're getting pretty deep into the collection stage. Or have you got that final notice of intent to levy where you don't respond within 30 days, the IRS can begin levying bank accounts, garnishing wages, or seizing assets, but it also gives you rights, CDP rights, that you need to take advantage of if you're not able to resolve it and with either automated collections or a revenue officer. So where you're at in this process is really important. Understanding the urgency can have a major impact on your life if it is urgent and you're not responding properly. I can't tell you enough times that the earlier you resolve a tax problem, you start trying to resolve it, the better the outcome. You have more time to get information, maybe meet with someone if that's helpful, and negotiate the best resolution for you. So I offer free consultations to people who have collection issues or have unfiled tax returns. I will leave my booking information below in the description as well as in the pinned comment. If you like this video, please like it so others can watch it and take advantage of the information here and learn more about where they're at in the collection process. If you have an IRS problem, please subscribe to the channel. I have a lot more videos out there for you to watch that may help you resolve your problem. And let us know where you're at in the collection process, what notice you've received, and any questions you have about that. And I will do my best to respond back to you. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.